Hello, I'm Jonathan Kydd. I was wide of the mark versus Leicester at the Bridge on Sunday. I predicted 3-1. We were lucky to draw. We ran out of puff in the second half again, like in the United game, and seemed unbelievably vulnerable to the counter-attack. Leicester in the end could and should have scored 5. If it hadn't been for feeble finishing, good goal, Kepa in, get it, and a lot of luck, it would really have been a dismal day for Superfrank. As it was a dispiriting 1-1 draw. Mason Mount scored our only goal in the 6th minute when he caught Ndidi in possession. Ndidi was distraught on Match of the Day at having given the goal away and almost blubbed in shame, but then he got his revenge by powering in a crisp header from a corner. Zuma missed the ball, the one that came in, and Dave got an inch off the ground. Set pieces we are not good at. We weren't good at them on the pre-season tour. I had that slightly irritating situation of having a loud Leicester fan to my right, who instead of thinking, well, I'm amongst Chelsea fans, I should keep my mouth shut, decided to applaud every single thing done by his players, whilst loudly informing everyone that Kydd, who of course had played for Leicester and won the title with them, was the greatest midfield player in the world. He's the greatest midfield player in the world, greatest midfield player. By the way, it's pronounced Kydd, as if there's an R in it. I sit in an area where you don't instantly object to an Oppo fan being with you and challenge him to a fist fight or getting thrown out by a steward. Other parts of the ground would have seen his expulsion, probably with a bloody nose. In fact, my way of dealing with such opposition is just to chat to them. So I chatted about Maddison being excellent, regular international, I think he'll be, which he was, especially in the second half as he played more centrally, though he was on the wing in the first half, though he was guilty of blazing over from 6 yards out, and Vardy being a very good player, which he is, if a little on the dirty bastard side. And our Leicester fan calmed down a bit and stroked his rather attractive foreign girlfriend who was next to me. She knew nothing about football, and he was saying who he knew. He said, Albrighton's a friend of mine, he told her. She had absolutely no clue who Albrighton was. He came on as a sub. When I called Pedro a Nana, new Nana, when he ballooned across 20 metres over the bar in the second half, she thought it was the funniest thing in the world. But I digress. This was initially Superfrank's day, of course. There were 2 huge banners created by the brilliant We Are the Shed in the Matthew Harding and the Shed end, and Superfrank came on to Superfrank, Superfranky Lampard, which incidentally in my youth was the Alan Ball song. Alan Ball played for Blackpool, then Everton, then Arsenal, and the song went Alan Ball, Alan Ball, Alan Ball, Alan Ball, Alan Ball, Alan Ball. Wank, 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 wank. Anyway, back to Superfrank. Not once was the scores 200 against the beep song to be heard anywhere, and I'm glad, because he didn't in fact score 200 against the beep, he scored his 200th against the beep. But then I'm a pedant. We did hear a lot of great songs, even the John Terriers won the double song, and the Ship from Milan again, because he was here in the East Stand up the way from me supporting his mate Frank. So at the Superfrank loving, we started off with the fervour of cheetahs with go faster stripes on them. Everything was fine and totally one-sided, and the Foxes, that's Leicester, could not deal with it. We should have scored 3 in the first 5 minutes. Pedro hit the side netting with a pinpoint volley, beautifully chested to him by Giroud, the bearded one, who had started instead of Abraham. Incidentally, there was a Tubby, Abraham chant on 9 minutes in support of his being racially abused on Twitter for having missed the pen in midweek, but I don't think enough people knew about it as it was a bit subdued. And of course, all the Leicester fans, after the whole of the West Stand thought we'd scored, did that thing of, because it hit the side netting, did that thing of waggling their arms and cheering, which Oppo fans do when we think we've scored and we haven't. They go, ah, go, go. It's like shouting handball when it clearly isn't. Everybody shouts, handball, handball, for about 5 minutes afterwards, and they think it's really funny, but to be fair, it is. Anyway, we were excellent for about half an hour, then ran out of steam, possibly affected by extra time in Istanbul in the 120 minutes of 35-degree heat, whatever it was on Wednesday. Anyway, we're all over Leicester. Mount should have scored with a header after a terrific move, but headed straight at the goalkeeper. There was another brilliant move which ended up with Giroud, the bearded one, back-heeling to Kydd, but his shot was half blocked. Zuma went on a mazy run to shout, so come on, Kurt! And that was it, really. We all wondered what it was that Rodgers had done to make Leicester so much better, but at half-time I don't think he did anything tactically. We just faded away and they got stronger. Superfrank tried some substitutions. Tammy came on for El Beardo, but didn't endear himself by missing the ball completely on 73 minutes when he should have scored with a header and was unfortunately not impressive. A man behind me is not keen on him and prefers Giroud. "Oh, come on, Abraham," he said in a posh, annoyed voice. You know he doesn't like him, as he doesn't call him Tammy. I must admit, Giroud had looked better and more mobile today. Pulisic, who'd been much better in the first half, like most of them, was replaced by Willian, who looked either unfit or injured or uninterested or both or nothing, and contributed fuck all. And even managed to do that absurd thing of hitting the first defender from the corner he took. He's done it all his Chelsea career. Get a grip, Willian. Mount takes the corners now and doesn't. Except Willian took it. I mean, even the great Eden Hazard did that, but I mean, bloody hell, even I could miss the first man when I played. I mean, what are they doing training, for fuck's sake? Ron, who I sit next to, said, well, Willian was fucking useless, wasn't he? He's got an opportunity to put down a marker and he plays like an arse. And arse wasn't the word he used. Yes, talent squandered. Perhaps he has no role to play anymore and we should put our hopes on Odoi, but then the pressure's on Odoi, isn't it? And he's had a big injury. Kovacic came on for Jorginho, who'd been assertive and accurate early on, but less so, and Kovacic is absolutely fuck all. Yes, he was that good. The Leicester fan, after Ndidi's goal, said loudly, probably for our benefit as well as his giggly, exotic girlfriend, that he'd take the draws. Chelsea, one of the best teams in the world, you know. Oh, yeah, nice. Willian hit the side netting. No one thinks it was in. You're so shit, Willian, cries a lone voice. People are beginning to criticise after the euphoria of the start. Tammy blazes miles over so it hits the roof of the stand. Oh, that's horrible, horrible, says the bloke behind me, practically breaking down, and is one horrible away from sounding Shakespearean. The last 20 minutes are frenetic end-to-end rubbish. The Leicester supporter is on the edge of his seat and emitting little shrieks as his team fail to score, having roasted us. Oh, no, oh, hey, oh, go, oh, go, oh, well played, oh, he cries. Fuck me, he's irritating. Maddison is brilliant. Vardy blasts wide. Kepa saves. Davies run ragged. Even Kante looks knackered. Bring on Barkley, says the annoyed man behind me, but Barkley remains glued to the bench and I'm not sure is the solution. The game ends, we've hung on. Lynn next to me says, the other side of Ron, says, where's the magic? I thought Frank's return would be magic. Yes, no magic, and a dampener on Superfrank's return. The crowd who'd been buoyed by Superfrank's return and had been in fine voice became disgruntled and disappointed his return had been an anticlimax. We were left with just a series of questions. How do we stop falling away? Is it a fitness thing? You can see what Frank wants to do, all done at speed and all pressing, but that's twice now in 2 games they haven't been able to maintain it. Will Superfrank and Jody make it work, or will we have to wait for Odoi and Cheek and James and Rudiger before we see the realisation of Superfrank's dream? Or was it in fact all down to the exertions of Wednesday and they will be alright by Saturday? We're 15th. Mind you, we're only 3 points behind City, who are 3rd. Early days. Norwich at the weekend. Come on, you Blues!